massive announcement here in a moment, but we need you guys to drop your location in the chat. We need you guys to tell me where you're watching this at. We need you guys to get them likes up. Over 200 of y'all in here, and the likes are light. I don't like it. I know I'm late, and so it's okay. We got Zach Sprazzo in the house.
Woo! It's good to be here. It's good to be here. I am, for the first time ever, J-Dye would be mad, I'm adding to my denim lineup full Canadian tuxedo today. With the denim pants, denim shirt. Wow.
J-Dye will be very mad.
Trying to relate to the working man.
Trying to relate to the working man. Because my shoes are too fly to relate to the working man. Way too fly. We got Wales, UK, Minnesota, Houston, Lancaster, Australia. Come on, somebody. Wow, we're international. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, let me know where you're watching this from. We got a massive announcement here in a moment. We're going to get to it. We got to let you guys warm up. There's some interesting things happening around the world. Go through, let me see what's pulled up here. Escondido, what's up, Krista?
This is so lame. I'm closing
No,
this.
don't do that. I actually want to cover it. What is this? Oh, I was saying I can go over the PragerU letter to Candace Owens, but I don't know if I want to do that. Probably not, huh?
It's 1 out of 10.
It is 1 out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we might have to do it. I wonder if there's anyone else gone over his letter to her. Did you see the 32-year-old held captive by a stepmom for 20 years? No. That sounds awful. Go to my X real quick. I think there's some stuff on there that I like that we can jump into. Denver.
We also got this Black Panthers 2.0.
Yeah, that goes. That goes. Not going to lie. Should we open up with that?
Black Panthers 2.0?
No, I don't want to open up with that. Oh, yeah, this is pretty... I don't want to talk about that. That's pretty embarrassing, though. Is the Among the Pagans hat only available at Bless God's Summit? Right now, for the virtual ticket. I think it's available with a virtual ticket. Did you see Miles Minnick performed at Rolling Loud with Lecrae? I saw he brought out Lecrae at Rolling Loud. I saw he did that. This is an interesting topic.
I like it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So, hey, if you're here, just understand that we're chefing. And when we're chefing, it's an appetizer before we get to the main event. But the main event, the main entree is going to be good. Okay? The main entree is going to be good. But I need you guys to let me serve you the appetizer. All right? So, let's get to that first.
What is the title of this video?
I don't know. It's finally happening. I think I told him the title of that.
Okay.
All right. Anthony Mackie is getting backlash for saying some rather simple things that define manhood. Now, I got to give you guys a heads up. There might be some profanity in this one. So, hide your kids. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Explicit.
I thought this was brilliant. I think this is something that needs to be said. This is all very sensible, but not in 2025. Apparently, saying basic facts and ideas that reflect common sense will get you in trouble. All right?
Okay.
Hit play.
I keep my boys humble. Like, my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit.
No fly shoes for him.
No fly shoes!
No fly shoes for the kids.
So he's a fairly famous actor. He was in Iron Man. Wasn't he cast to replace, Terrence Howard? Let's verify that. I need you to verify that quickly. And so this would be the part you would clip out, Samaje, if you're watching this.
We're training.
Yeah, we're training. We got someone training. Yep, Anthony Mackie. I called it. Look at me. Look at me knowing my IDMB credentials. All right, go back.
IMDb.
What is it? What did I say?
IDMB.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All right, go ahead. Oh, he's the new Captain America? Is that right? He's in the new Captain America? All right, go ahead and play.
He's the new Captain.
He's the new Captain. All right, well, go ahead.
Like your kids. And no, I don't give a... I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid.
I like this energy.
I do like the energy.
Don't let me catch you being stupid. I mean, I think this has to. You got to rule with an iron fist like this when you got boys. It sounds like he primarily has boys. I think he said he had 3 boys in here. I get it. You got 2 boys.
I got 2 boys. They're little though. I still rule with an iron fist.
Poor Flynn. Go ahead.
Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out.
Come on, somebody.
That's fire.
Once you get one
like
right,
that.
once you get one right, then he doing half the work.
Oh yeah.
It's like big families. You ever see big families? And the older kids that are teenagers and there's a new baby on the scene and the older teens end up like helping with the little one.
The Duggars.
The Duggars. That's a bad example. That's a terrible example. No, I think it's a terrible example. Shout out to the Duggars. I'm talking about folks that like the movement that have big families and they'll have teenagers that help out with the little ones. And
100%.
I think that stuff is great.
So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities.
Oh,
Come on.
he's been red-pilled.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's been something.
I
He's been
think
trad-pilled.
I think the frustrating part about this is that when someone says something like this, I think the intellectually dishonest thing to do is then go and say something like, "Oh, see, he's pushing toxic masculinity, and he's a fan of Andrew Tate, and he's a he's tradcon, he's this, he's that," and it's like we should be able to make fairly reasonable observations about where society is around these topics
Without having to be in a internet brain rot camp.
Yes, without having to be now waving the banner of something that you might actually find repulsive.
Yeah. I think there's probably what he's sharing is not an uncommon thought among most men, especially men that are fathers. It's just
Except like
except for what?
Like the vegan type who get like circumcised to stand in solidarity with women's rights.
Whoa.
I know someone like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Any crazy? Yeah, so there are some men that are
No, there for sure are.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think
generally speaking, when you get men alone, this is how what would you say, 90%?
There's a reason it has 159,000 likes.
Yeah. What would you say, 95%, 99% talk like this?
Yeah, they talk like this. And I would even say if they don't talk like this, they don't sometimes we don't feel the need to talk like this.
Uh-huh.
Like sometimes it's just, oh yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I don't feel that strongly about it. It's just, it's like a way of being almost, you know?
Yeah, go ahead.
For one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men.
Come on.
And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night. This alarm is on. You text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
Ah!
I love that. Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, you know? And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
All right. By the way, that's a John Keith song at the end of that.
Yeah.
The pivot new episode. Okay, I want to see. So this was titled, I think this is really good. This was titled, Anthony Mackie is getting backlash for saying he's raising his kids to be respectful men. So I want to see if this is true or not. I mean, I'm sure there's
is there actually backlash, or is it like,
yeah, like I'm sure somebody is probably upset about this, but I'm curious, like, let's see.
Anthony Mackie is also the one that was like trying to downplay America's role in Captain America, right?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
He was like this. He was like, I actually don't think about America when I think about Captain America. And he was kind of doing the whole like wokeist thing a little bit.
I mean,
You know. What's that one book that Don read?
Oh, I don't know what that book is, bro. Let's see.
That's what he read before you asked that question.
Yeah, look at this. Why Anthony Mackie's Death of the American Male comment views on. So this is on The Root. Anthony Mack says we're lying to our kids. Yeah, it sounds like legacy media definitely caught on to that. This is not hyperbole. They have literally killed masculinity. The Daily Wire. I mean, some of these are obviously going to be co-signing what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right? Let's go to CNBC. Let's see what they're saying. All right. Captain America star Anthony Mackie, we're lying to our kids when we say success comes... Wait, what did he say? Okay, so it sounds like some contradictory statements then, right? Oh, let me read the title again.
Okay.
We're lying to our kids when we say success comes just from hard work. Luck is key too. Okay.
Was this the article we clicked on?
No, but this is when I searched his name. This is one of the things that. So I would say that contradicts that. Why Anthony Mackie's Death of the American Male comment and views on black masculinity riled up the internet. Okay. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, is making headlines, and unfortunately, it's not for his new movie. Instead, it's for his views of masculinity and things he's doing in his personal life, but we'll let you be the judge as to whether or not the online chatter is warranted. Conversations first began after clips from his recent appearance on the Pivot podcast went viral on social media. In it, Mackie discusses personal philosophy when it comes to raising his sons, explaining how he keeps his sons. Okay, so we saw that part. So what's the backlash? I don't understand that. What are people upset about? And while it seemed fine on surface, what folks got in a tizzy was when Mackie said that society has been living through the death of the American male and how he ensures that true masculinity is being instilled in his kids. In the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. Okay, well, I want to see the backlash. Goodness gracious. Seriously. American masculinity has always been different, he concluded. As his comments began circulating online, some took issue with his stance, alleged that Mackie's words were laced with...
laced with phobia, citing his stress on making sure his boys grow up to be real men. I would like to note that they are the only ones writing in the phobia part. Because he didn't say about them not...
Well, someone pointed out, rightfully so, that didn't this dude play an OGTV character in the movie?
Hello.
So how could the guy that played the
Yeah.
the thing that he's phobic about?
100%. I also think that it's the like media and culture is showing their hand here. Because they're like, oh, he's talking about the death of the American man. And they know that what has been on the rise culturally is the LGTV agenda.
Right.
So if there's a death of an American man, then that would mean it would be at the expense, or the rise of the LGTV would be at the expense of the American man. Yeah. He never said anything. He never said that.
And apparently he talked about playing that role in that interview. He talks about his own brother being a part of that community.
Come on.
So how do you take that and then conflate that as like a fairly general statement that I think most people can observe that, this is this thing that like, we don't really want men to act like men, and when they do, we say that they're being toxic.
Exactly.
It's a very, very sensible point to make.
But I also think they're showing their hand.
Yeah.
That like the actual LGTV agenda is to make docile men. Like, because when it's not even mentioned with anything about LGTV, they're like, that's homophobic. It's like, oh, being a real man? So, okay, so you think that those two are the same. Creating docile men and LGTV is the same thing. They go hand in hand. So now that we're talking about creating real men, you think we're talking about locking up all the L's and the G's, maybe even the B's and the T's.
I don't know about all that. Okay, yes. When you conflate those two,
exactly,
that's wrong. I don't think we should lock anyone up for the record.
100%. I would never do that.
Okay, don't lock anybody up.
But lock some people up.
Lock some people up. Don't lock people up for
their sexual orientation.
For their orientation.
Exactly.
There's a clip where he talks about this character of Captain America being more of a captain of everyone, which isn't far from the source material, but the backtrack on an IG story. Also more to moral relativism setting in. For sure. Okay. Let me stop this recording. I got a riff on something, and then we got a massive announcement. I need you guys to get the likes up.
Gotta get the likes up.
Because we got something big, but I need to top off my drink.
Seriously? Well, shameless plug. I'm going to be at the Bless God Summit. I may not be on the speakers list. I may not be on the website. But I will be there. And I will be there thoroughly.
Do you want to be on the website?
No, I don't. Is that Jay Dyer or is that just Jay?
No, I would think Jay Dyer's account would be verified.
Yeah. Zach, tell a joke.
Zach, do a magic trick. Do a backflip.
Is Ray Rock going to be at the summit?
He is.
He is.
He's going to be DJing.
Yep. And he's going to be DJing.
Okay, let me riff on something real quick. So, like, in light of this conversation, that his name's Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie. So we were having this conversation. I preached at my church this past weekend. We're going through the book of Acts. And in prepping for the book of Acts, some interesting things when you factor in everything that's going on within a context. One interesting thing is in the book of Acts, people love grabbing those passages of they sold all their possessions and they were of one heart and one mind, and everyone went without, anyone who had stuff gave away, and that whole thing, which is beautiful, by the way. And people love using those verses to make the argument that in order to follow Jesus, you have to sell all your stuff. This is especially evident on folks kind of, would you say on left-leaning people who are like, if you're a real Christian, why don't you sell all your stuff, right? And
I think it's the hyper-conservative Christians and then the super left Christians.
It's the hyper-conservative and the super left Christians. So, like, in light of Anthony Mackie and his statement that they're trying to make men more docile, they're trying to rage war on masculinity. One of the biggest aspect of masculinity is provision, in my opinion. And that doesn't mean just financial provision. That doesn't mean just financial provision. That means provision as a whole, but I do think financial provision is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about who's waging war on masculinity, and we see 1 Timothy 5, which says, he who does not provide for the needs of his family, specifically his own family, is worse than a non-believer and is not of faith. And then verses are getting weaponized against Christian men who want to provide, who want to build something, who want to solve problems. And then you read Acts in context. And this is one of the craziest things about when you read Acts in context and they sold all their stuff. You know what was happening? Is that people came from all over. They came from all over in Jerusalem.
Yep.
And they were there in Jerusalem. So when you're reading the next couple of chapters of Acts, you're actually seeing people out of their home area visiting somewhere, and some are going without, some have extra means. That's why they're selling their stuff, because they don't live there.
Yeah, if you're moving cities, you're gonna
have to sell some stuff.
You're gonna sell some
right?
stuff.
And so people read that passage descriptively and ignore. Well, people read that passage descriptively and think it's a prescription that in order to follow Jesus, you have to be poor and you have to sell everything. When in reality, that's actually not what's happening. There are people visiting from all over. And there's a bit of a hint of it in chapter 5, where Ananias and Sapphira, they sell their stuff, but they lie to the Holy Spirit. They lie to God because they want to appear like the ones that sold their stuff and gave everything to the church and the community. But they kept some back for themselves. And Peter says, hey, wasn't this yours to sell? And then wasn't it yours to keep some if you wanted to? But it's that you lied that you got struck and got killed. So what's fascinating about that is, as much as there's brain rot from the left, as much as there's brain rot from people who are like, money is the root of all evil, which is, that's not what the verse says, by the way. That verse says, for the love of money is a root to all types of evil.
Yep.
Okay, that's in 1 Timothy 6. Scripture has to interpret Scripture. 1 Timothy 5 talks about you got to provide for the needs of your family. So we have to look at it in context. We have to look at Acts in context. We have to look at these things in context. Even the verse where Jesus says, hey, take nothing with you, and when he sends out the disciples, the hilarious part is the second time he sends out the disciples, he tells them to have a sword. He tells them to bring a bag.
Come on.
Right? So the interesting part is, I think there's a war waged on men, but it's not just from the radical leftists. Sometimes it's from Christians.
Whew.
Sometimes it's from Christians that want to shame men, especially young men, for wanting to be resourceful and do something significant with their life.
Come on.
And so we're taking passages out of context. We're reading descriptive stories of acts of the early church. We're looking at verses myopically instead of saying, what is the overall meta narrative on scripture about money? And then we demonize money and we demonize people who want to be contributors instead of consumers. Right? And so it's frustrating because I think that brainwashing has crept into the church. I think the communism and the Marxism and the socialism has crept into the church, and then people will then conflate things and try to position themselves as more pious. When in reality, yes, not everyone is going to be wealthy, but to say that in order to be a faithful Christian, you have to take a vow of poverty, I think is equally as outlandish and dangerous, especially for young men. Especially for young men who feel like, hey, I want to contribute something of value to the world. I want to help people. And all money is just the exchange of value. That's all it is. All money is the exchange of value. And by the way, that's not always a one-to-one, meaning that I think one of the most valuable things that anyone could do, a woman can do specifically, is to be home and be a caretaker. That's work, by the way. That doesn't pay very well. Actually doesn't pay anything.
It's like an investment.
Right? I think school teachers, I think school teachers, I think social workers, I think all types of people contribute a lot without receiving economic value. A missionary, right? Yet, generally speaking, if you're not intentionally taking a position that is a missionary or a vow of poverty, generally speaking, money is just the exchange of value. That's what money measures.
Come on.
Right? So you solve big people problems, you're going to make big people money. You solve little people problems, you're going to make little people money. This is what I mean. Specifically, if you bag groceries, you're going to get paid less than the guy who is the manager of the grocery store.
So you think you're better than bagging groceries, huh?
And that becomes the weird trap that people set. And the guy who is managing the store is going to make less money than a guy who owns the store.
Yeah.
Right? And it's all it. But why? Because it requires more skill and effort and delaying gratification to be the guy to create the store and to sacrifice and to put up the finances and to go in the hole and to have the plan and the strategy to build the store than the guy bagging groceries. And so I think there's this psyop happening where the brainwashing is distorting the basic tenets of what it means to be a man, which one of those tenets is provision, financial and spiritual, stability and adventure. And I think it's so dangerous that we look and we see these things and people continue distorting the qualifications on what it means to be a man, which in my opinion is to be a priest, provider, protector. And this stuff creeping into the church, I think is going to do irreversible damage. Now, what I'm not speaking to is folks who take like a Dorian principle position of ministry. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's different. I think if someone says, hey, we give out XYZ resource, and if you want to give, you can, but don't feel compelled to give. That's like a church. Like our church is not like pulling your bank statements and checking to see if you're
giving exactly 10%.
Giving 10%.
Yeah.
Right? I'm talking about just the sheer disdain and the scoffing of ambitious men who want to make an impact on this side of eternity and looking down as that is bad and that is not a virtue. I think it's dangerous. I think it's disgusting. I think it brings way more harm than good. And I think we need to be intentional to call that out, because that is poison and it's prevalent and is going to bring harm. And if you're a part of a community where that is the attitude and the temperament, it's going to cost something. And it might cost you your sons growing up and being docile. It might cost you your women not being protected and expected to work because the husbands don't know how to provide, because they don't know how to develop useful skills that can solve bigger problems so they could afford opportunities for their wife to stay home for a season when they have little kids.
Yeah.
Right? We've done the data on this multiple times. The vast majority of women, not Christian women, not conservative women, the vast majority of women would have preferred to stay home with little children had they been given an opportunity to. 56% of working women with kids 18 and older would have preferred to stay home had they been given an opportunity to. The numbers with working women, Harvard did a study about a decade ago, it's like 85, 86%. And so if we don't talk about these things, there's going to be another generation of dudes that coast by that have tense marriages because they don't know how to process these things, because someone sold them a bag of goods that like all this is easy. None of this is easy.
Yeah.
None of this is easy. It's all hard.
Exactly. And it's what we talked about earlier, which was that line of thinking comes with the premise that making money is really easy. And it's really not. It's like you got to actually work for it. The Bible literally, like the curse of man, like you're going to toil over the fields to reap a harvest. It's still like that. We just don't really work in fields as much. So this line of thinking sets the premise that making money is easy and I just have to try really hard to not make too much money. But I think what it really does in practice is that it incentivizes men to not learn valuable skills and not end up making a reasonable income. So it's not even, I don't even think it's about getting rich or being wealthy or what, like, oh, can Christians be wealthy or not? It's like, I actually think it's just stopping someone from making 10, 15, 20% above the median income, which is like helpful for Christians to be doing.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. I'll go to you guys' chat. People think old patriarchs were poor, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeah. Anyway.
Is the summit event canceled because of wildfire?
Nope. Let me hold to you guys' super chats. Thank you to Santos Jimenez for sending a super chat. He said, what pisses me off is that a man will simply say he wants his sons to be men and everyone loses their mind. But those damn demons want to mutilate children and say they can be different genders and no one bats an eye.
Come on.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm saying, how do I say this? I think I've said it, but like I'm saying sometimes it doesn't have to be as overt as mutilating children to bring harm to boys.
Hello.
Sometimes
it could be people in your own circle.
It could be people in your own circle that, what's the word I'm looking for? That like undermine someone's desire to be faithful and be a good steward. Right?
That's selfish ambition.
Yeah. And so this sort of stuff, and it's not just it's not in any specific circle. It can seep into any form of Christianity. And it creates this pious attitude that like the pathway to being a stable and a godly husband is through kind of failing at basic qualifications of what a man is.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, that's poison. Like that's literally poison.
Come on.
So anyway, would you say they try to make the idea or something more reasonable than another? I don't know what you're asking. More reasonable? Would you say that women who do work inside of the home, like creating t-shirts, designs, other products, something that could be a reasonable way to make money while taking care of their children? Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with women working, for the record. I think even
Proverbs 31.
Yeah, we talk about Proverbs 31 all the time, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the margin that you have to build in so that when you go to have a family, you can figure out a way to live below your means as well as probably earn an above average income and allow your wife to stay home for a season. I'm not saying everyone is going to do it. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying that if you don't have a debilitating condition, if you don't have chronic pain, I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to the average Joe that is much more concerned with being in a bowling league and watching 30 hours of Netflix a week instead of figuring out a way to earn more skills, to be more valuable in the marketplace so they could be a bigger asset to their current employer, maybe level up and take care of their family. That's who I'm speaking to.
Yeah, my wife has no desire to help print t-shirts or create a side business right now while she has 2 under 2.
Right.
So I think even in practice, what are we talking about? Proverbs 31 is probably targeting the woman with older children, if not empty nester type of woman, because it's like, so I don't think there's any problem with it. Every woman's different and they have different tolerances and also just different situations. But yeah, we have two kids under 2, and Melissa's like, this is all I'm doing for the next whatever years until these kids are like.
Yeah, I don't think people understand how much work kids are.
Much work.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because it's definitely not. It's definitely not like, oh, we're gonna have our first baby, and then she's gonna be home chilling.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what Kids are surprises.
Mm-hmm.
They're not linear.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah. Let me stop this recording. Okay. We got a big announcement.
Big announcement.
Big announcement. So let me give you guys a little bit of the backstory here. All right. Okay. Drop a one in the chat if you guys are ready for the big announcement. Get them likes up. 638, 34, 700 here a second ago, and only 361 likes. That's less than half of you guys have hit the like button. May we please get up to 400 likes. 400 likes. We got a massive announcement you guys are going to love, but we need you guys to get those likes up. Let's get to 400 likes. Can we do that?
Parabolic kids versus linear kids. You get it. The Swarm 17.
This is my favorite Ruslan. Very few Christians talk about these problems. It's actually what got me hooked on the channel. Let's go, Ivan.
Let's go, Ivan.
Ivan's a real one. I like it. Okay, 407 likes. All right, let's go. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, let me make sure that the recording start. Okay, here we go. Goodness.
Why'd you stop the recording?
I don't know. If you guys didn't know, there's been some controversy after the last debate con between David Wood and Alex O'Connor. I'll spare you all the details. Long story short, they were supposed to debate at DebateCon, which shout out to James from Modern Day Debates. Had a fantastic event. I went. It was dope. Some classics that happened that night. But what was supposed to happen was Alex O'Connor was supposed to debate David Wood on the topic, does Jesus claim to be God? Which is a great topic. Unfortunately, for reasons I will not get into on this video, that debate got canceled. It got canceled. And that caused quite a bit of controversy. A lot of people attacked Alex for it. I don't know if that was fair. David Wood made a video about it, addressing some of his own frustration. And it was a pretty big deal that this got canceled. And so we, over here at Bless God Studios, we decided to be the solution. So we are excited to announce that on Friday, March 28th, the David Wood, Alex O'Connor debate is happening live at the Bless God Summit in Southern California, March 27th, 28th, 29th. Friday night, David Wood, Alex O'Connor rescheduled. It is happening. I can't wait for you guys to see that. And so I figured, let's just walk you guys through the schedule, okay? If you don't have, and by the way, you don't have to be in Southern California. You can get yourself a virtual ticket for only $50.
Yep.
Get yourself a virtual ticket
all
for
3
only
days.
$50.
You can access all the fun events, all the amazing talks, the amazing speakers. It's a very, very high-packed value event.
Yeah. So it's a 3-day event. Let me show you guys the schedule. We just released the full schedule. So if you go to blessgodsummit.com, here's the 2 buttons: purchase tickets, virtual tickets right here. Purchase tickets, virtual tickets are only $50. This will take you to our Bless God shop. You could even bundle it up with some other stuff like our Devos, our discipleship bundle, yada, yada, yada. But if you want to be there in person, we'd love to have you in person. Click here to view the schedule. The schedule, I mean, this is jam-packed. Okay, let me just go over the schedule with you guys for night 1, and then I'll show you guys night 2, which is when the debate is happening. Okay, so night 1, we have...
Ruslan worked really hard on this.
I worked really hard on this. It was a lot of work. All right, this is so crushing to get the schedule done. I welcome everybody. We got a little worship from a band called Living Again. Then we have myself, Arthur from Apologia Center, and Mike Jones from Inspiring Philosophy talking about worldview. Then Dr. Sean McDowell doing a talk on the evidence for the resurrection. Special performance from my guy John Keith from Indie Tribe. My man Preston Perry on how to tell the truth. Daniel Golding, Pastor Daniel Golding from Echoes Church in the Phoenix area is doing a talk on white church. Then we take a break. We got some snacks happening. And then J. Warner Wallace, the author, best-selling author of Cold Case Christianity, is doing a talk on identity in Christ. It's one of the best talks I've ever heard. We got a book signing by J. Warner Wallace. And then we all come back out, myself, Arthur from Apologia Center, J. Warner Wallace, and we're doing a Q&A for the last little bit of the summit. And
That's a late night.
That's a late night. All of these are late nights.
I need to send this to my wife.
You need to send this to your wife. It's going to be a late night. Yeah. It's going to be a late night. Day 2, this is the long one. This is the big body. This is the big body. We got my nope, you missed it. You scrolled way too fast. Did they mess it up?
Where's day 2? Oh yeah. Oh,
bro,
man. Come on,
Tyler.
We were flowing.
Gosh darn it.
Day 1 ends 10 p.m. Wait, let me zoom out. Oh, it's on that side. There we go.
Oh, okay. I was gonna send Tyler an angry voice note.
we're mid video.
All right. Day 2. So day 1 is all about worldview. Day 2, we're going from our worldview to impacting our virtue. If you know all the apologetics in the world, and you know all the systematic theology in the world, and you know all the Bible in the world, but it doesn't impact your virtue, there is a problem. So day 2, we get into virtue building. Okay, the summit is in Carlsbad, California. That's a part of San Diego County, North County, San Diego. Day 2, this is Friday, March 28th, next Friday. This is a long day. All right, we got Ryan Horton with some worship. I'll be welcoming in. Shout out to our sponsor, Human Coalition, one of the pro-life nonprofits that I partner with already. Pastor Ed Newton from CBC Bible is doing a talk called Why Not You? Dr. Rudy, which is my therapist, Whitfield, is doing a talk called Emotions Made Simple. Some of you guys may know Dr. Rudy from our Master My Habits course.
Go to mastermyhabits.com.
Yeah, go to mastermyhabits.com. We're actually reshooting that when he's here that day.
Phenomenal.
So we're redoing our free course for those of you guys that are struggling with addiction. Then we got myself and Trizzle Man Fitness, mental to physical health. Then Dr. Rudy, Trizzle, Pastor Ed, and myself come back out and we do a Q&A panel with everybody. Then we break for lunch. After that, there's some cookies and coffee and refreshments. Main session, home team pod.
Come on.
With Zach Sparazzo.
Add me to the website. Where's my face cut out?
I'm not getting a face cut out. You made all those, by the way. Then we have our breakouts. Pastor Chris Brown, Marriage is the Bedrock. I got to update that title. He sent me a title. In the Cardiff room, we got God Logic Apologetics, Avery God Logic, talking about Christians, Christian and single in the modern age. I'll be moderating that. Alan and Jen Parr getting married later in life. Alan Parr was 40 when he got married. Jeff and Aaron Moore's family and the war on family right now. Then we take a break. Right after that, we got David Wood and John McCrae, Suffering Well. And then Nate Sala on From Argument to Influence in Friendship. Then Mike Jones from Inspiring Philosophy, Biblical Secrets on How to Overcome Depression. And then Gavin Ortland on Handling Disagreement. All right, so that's the breakout session. Then we have Dr. Rudy and Lisa Whitfield. They're doing a talk. Miles Minnick performance, closing, and then we break for dinner, okay, for about an hour and 45 minutes. Then we got The Chosen Season 5 special screening.
What?
Okay, so this isn't even...
Of whatever episode is...
This is the episode that they're about to premiere in theaters.
Wow.
We're doing the special screening of it at the summit.
Come on, son.
So that's happening. And there's going to be movie theater popcorn, nachos, soft pretzels, candy bar. Then after The Chosen premiere, so you can get in your PJs, get snuggy if you want, we got David Wood versus Alex O'Connor. Did Jesus claim to be God?
Wow.
So that's night 2.
That's the main event right there.
That's night 2.
It's in that main event slot.
Will virtual tickets get to stream this? Yes, virtual tickets will get to stream this. And then this is day 3, impacting the marketplace. So we go from worldview to virtue. If you have the right worldview, you have the right theology, you have the right apologetics, you have the right polemics, but you don't have virtue, doing something wrong. And then from virtue, impacting the marketplace. Okay. Then we got Ryan Panetta and sharing his story being called to entrepreneurship. We got me and Nick D doing a panel on being a musical solopreneur.
Come on.
Then we got Dustin Savella, who America's Got Talent winner. He's doing an amazing talk about his own journey with magic. Then it's Dallas Jenkins and myself, the power of narrative and breaking into film. So I'll be interviewing Dallas Jenkins. And it's another home team pod with me and Zach. Lunch break, more coffees and cookies. Then we come back. I'll do a panel with Lila Rose on how she launched her nonprofit. And then David Wood, John McCrae, God Logic, Nate Sala, myself, leveraging YouTube as a Christian. Then we break. Then when I come back, another special announcement. Voice of Reason.
Come on.
building YouTube without knowing video and tech.
Wow.
So I'm actually interviewing Voice of Reason and his partner Jonathan on how they built the YouTube channel, where Voice of Reason does none of the tech, none of the video, and Jonathan handles all of it, and Voice of Reason gets to just be the
He gets
talent.
to be all voice and reason.
That's right. Then we do another home team pod, myself, Pastor Jeff, Dr. Rudy, and then we do a closing farewell. Then there's some guest mingle time and all that kind of stuff. So go to blessgodsummit.com, get your tickets. There's the full schedule. And we just confirmed David Wood versus Alex O'Connor. It's going to be amazing.
If you're not convinced, I think at the very least, if someone can't make it, there is plenty of evidence to suggest why they should go get a virtual ticket for $50. Because coming in person, you know, it is going to be a phenomenal event. And there's accrued costs to that, right? So everyone that's coming out is really buying into this phenomenal event, and that was the goal. You put together this phenomenal lineup, this amazing schedule, and I think those people will be what's it called?
Over-deliver?
They'll be over-delivered. That the price point, the $50 price point for the virtual ticket, you don't got to fly out, you don't got to get the hotel, all that stuff. So if it's too late for y'all to make it in person, that's a great price point for that many sessions. And everyone that's in there in person will also obviously get the links to all the replays, so you can even catch the sessions that you didn't make it to. Because some of those are dueling.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, and so, and this is actually Alex O'Connor's birthday weekend.
Come on.
So that's going to be
do
fun.
Happy birthday at the beginning of this thing.
Yeah, we got to do something for him, huh? Thank you for thinking. That's the empath in you, huh? So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So yeah, you can buy a virtual ticket. I think you guys should get a ticket and come in person.
100%.
All right, come hang out. It's gonna be fun, and I'm happy that this debate's happening.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm happy this debate's finally happening.
It'll be happening live if they want to watch it live.
Virtual ticket,
or be there in person. It will probably come out within
a week. I'll say 7 days. Just the debate will come out
on Alex O'Connor's channel,
on everyone's channel.
Everyone's channel. Yeah. So that's how we got him there in person. I would say though, based off that schedule, that's just a piece of the pie of the virtual ticket cost. So or even the in-person ticket cost. So either way, hopefully that pushes it over for some of you guys to be like, oh, now I have to go. But regardless, I think that will just be one of the entertainment pieces for you guys. I think you'll have so much life change in all the other sessions.
Someone said, will everything be reviewed and come out? I don't think, we can't put The Chosen out. There's a good chance we probably can't even stream The Chosen to the virtual ticket holders.
No, probably not.
From a licensing standpoint, I'm like 90% sure that's going to be for just people in the room. Some of the sessions will come out eventually, but probably to promote the next event.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So like, if whenever we do the next one, which will probably be in 2026, that's when you'll start seeing some of them come out as clips. And then the David Wood, Alex O'Connor will be out probably 7 days after on everyone's channels. So if you just want that, you could just wait 7 days.
Yeah, maybe clips from a home team pod or something.
But not the full session.
It doesn't really serve us or even our guests to have like, here's Dr. Sean McDowell's talk, because you're not even on it, so it really wouldn't make sense upon your channel. So yeah, to get the experience, and if you guys saw the schedule, it is a curated experience. There's each day plays into an ending theme, and so
the breakouts will not be released.
Yeah, exactly.
The breakouts. I would say everything on there, with the caveat of some home team pods, the caveat of me doing some of my talks, will not be public.
Yeah.
Probably not be public. Probably. We might release a clip here or there. We might release some of the panels later on to promote the next one, but they will not be released. So like, we're not going to drop Dr. Sean McDowell's talk. A lot of times people also don't know is like folks have talks that they do. And so Jay Warner Wallace, I've heard his talk on identity.
It's like dropping someone's
why would we drop someone's content? Like, that's their talk. I'm not going to drop Jay Warner Wallace's talk on my channel. Like, that's weird. You know what I mean? So you guys still have scholarships, or are they done? Anyone that can get here locally has been offered a scholarship.
Yeah.
So if you said, I can get here, you've been offered a scholarship. If you need flights and hotels, those we cannot do because we didn't have enough sponsors to step up to cover any of those expenses.
And the virtual ticket does get you the breakout sessions.
Yes.
We will be streaming every
We figured
single
out a
one of
way to do breakouts for because the cameras will be streaming. So we'll actually have two things going on at the same time.
Perfect.
So yeah, those are happening.
Yep. So the virtual gets everything except for the chosen.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
There's a chance we'll release more scholarships because North Coast bought 50 tickets and they may not.
Nice.
They might not utilize all 50 tickets. So if they send,
someone locally,
we'll give out some of those locally. And there is still some opportunity to get, like, if you're willing to volunteer, you can get a massive discount. If you are, if you're local. So for extra clarification, only buy a virtual ticket if I can watch in real time. No. The virtual ticket holders will have replay access.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You'll have replay access. If you just want the debate,
might as well.
It will be out in 7 days.
Yep. Exactly.
If you want to watch the debate live, get the virtual ticket.
Yes.
Do you offer virtual tickets for those who can't afford one? No, we do not. We do not. We added a lot of expenses with getting Alex here from London.
Come on.
And we're already like 25K down on this event.
Yes.
And so we cannot just give out the virtual ticket.
Mm-hmm.
We offered physical in-person tickets.
Yep.
So if you want a physical in-person ticket, you could have applied for a scholarship, but we cannot give out virtual tickets. We cannot, because it's $50.
Yeah, it's $50. The punchline is the virtual ticket. So everyone that can't make the commitment, whether their schedule's busy or don't have the finances, those people buying those tickets is what's going to help supplement to make this experience as amazing as we want it without us having to cut back on certain things. And it's still not profitable, but it's a nice supplement.
Maybe next year we'll break even.
You want to do another one in a year, or you want to do like that? We can do like the growth video live. He does them every other year.
I think we would need a massive sponsor.
I think if we got a massive sponsor,
if we got like 6 figures in sponsors, and then we could actually supplemented it.
Yes.
It could be great.
Yeah, I think I would rather do like maybe next if we want to do some live stuff, just book a couple dates.
Yeah,
like in different cities and do an evening.
Could a brother from Jamaica get a scholarship? If you can get yourself to California.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
It's next weekend. If you can get yourself in California, you can definitely get a sponsorship. I could volunteer.
You're gonna spend more on food than you would on a virtual ticket over the few days you're there. So, have you tried World Vision to sponsor? Is that the kids?
I can't do World Vision.
Is that the one where they give you kids?
Yeah, I feel conflicted with that. Respectfully, they have offered. I feel conflicted with that. Yeah. I don't want to.
We need Hallow.
We need someone like Hallow or
we need like
someone like that.
A Christian tech billionaire.
World Vision, because the whole pitch at World Vision is like sign up to sponsor a kid, and I personally feel icky about it.
All the benefits of adoption without having to put the kid in your house.
I don't want to steamroll or be disparaging to them. But yeah, we've talked to them, and we haven't talked to them. They've offered, and I'd rather not personally. So everyone I'm partnering with is people I partner with, like Live Action is a sponsor, God's Pit Crew is a sponsor. Who else? Human Coalition is a sponsor. David C. Cook is a sponsor. Those are all people that I already rock with.
And I don't think we will keep the virtual ticket open after the event. Unless we found a way to bundle it. But so no, if you want access to this thing after the event, you gotta buy it before the event.
The most important thing is we can watch Bless God Summit with virtual tickets, especially for people like me who live outside the U.S.
Come on.
What about a sponsor for a group like Operation Christmas Child Ministries? Is that somewhat conflicting too? I don't know enough about that organization. You asked me specifically about a specific organization.
It's always kids though. You know what I'm saying?
It just,
like, why is it always kids?
I just feel a little.
Why is it always? Here's a little picture you can put on your.
And by the way, we have kids that we sponsor in that way. I just understand the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
The financial mechanics of it, and it just feels weird. And no, we don't need a barber to volunteer for this event. This is not like a community outreach, but Rhythm does like a Blessed Local event where we have stuff like that. But this is not that.
I need a barber.
Zach needs a barber.
Actually, I don't. I cut my hair myself, and I'll be lining myself up with a nice fade right before the event.
Well, yep.
So maybe I do need a barber. As I'm saying it out loud.
Let me see if there's any questions before we get out of here. I think there's another super chat, and then we're gonna wrap. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Are you nervous?
No,
I'm nervous.
You're nervous? Why are you nervous?
Will
the debate? Okay, yeah, we already answered that question. Yes, so 7 days after it'll be public. Yeah, man, pray for us. I mean, listen, like this thing is a lot of money. Let me just tell you that it's a lot of money to put this thing on. Should someone Jesus curious attend the conference?
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of folks that are coming that aren't Christians.
Yeah. I mean, this is an amazing event for that.
Yeah, especially that debate. Yeah, we have a good amount of folks coming.
We're going to close you on night 2.
Night 2, you're going to be closed. Whatever you don't get, sponsored, no offense to them. Yeah, so yes, I think so. I think so. I think it's going to be, yeah, we got a couple atheists coming. We got some skeptics coming. I just confirmed that a Mormon is coming. So we got a pretty diverse bunch, man.
I didn't know Dallas Jenkins is bringing a friend.
Stop.
I had to do it.
Stop.
It's all right. I gotta go.
All right, I'm gonna wrap. Hold on. Let me say bye. Zach's leaving. Let me know if you guys got any other questions before I wrap. We will be back tomorrow with a fun stream. Okay, let me see. There's a super chat. Super chat. All right, what are we talking about? Hey, Ruslan, I wanted to hear this personally, despite all the negativity on you about money. But this event is so good for the church, my guy. Apologetics, marriage, and family conversations. And that conversations that support ecumenicalism. Conversations that support ecumenicalism, yes. Thank you for the super chat. I think it's gonna be super fun. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions. Congratulations, this is epic. Gonna put together. Is this event live? Yes, it's in person. You just rewind the stream. Can you check out the film called Sojourners in Exile by 10 Films? Maybe. It's going. Listen, I'm in the middle of planning an event, my brother. I don't know if you just tuned in and this is your way to promote your own thing or something you believe in. I'm in the middle of promoting an event, brother, and not just promoting it. Forget promoting the event. The event's already promoted. I'm in the middle of planning all my talks for this event. So it's going to take way more than $5 on a super chat for me to carve out hours to go and watch a film you want me to watch. If that's your film, props to you. If that's your homie's film or something you believe in, props for you for willing to do that. But yeah, I don't have any time right now to be sitting around and watching anything that is a non-work related event. All right. Ruslan, please check me out. I will apply one last time. I'm sure that the event will help me and my wife a lot. Thank you. Okay, so Axel, you have to apply and check that you can get here in person. If you're applying and you're asking for travel, we already said that we're not doing that. We just don't have the funds to be flying people out. We initially thought we were going to be able to do that with some bigger sponsors, but they ended up falling through. So if you can apply and say, hey, I'm willing to get myself there in person. I just need a ticket, and you can get yourself here, that will increase your chances. Let me know if that makes sense. Faithfully fishing for facts. You could totally come if you believe in Scientology. It's not an event to ostracize anyone that believes in Scientology, but you will be challenged for sure. Yeah. Oh, and Axel, you may be offered a discount ticket. You know what I mean? So like we may have run out of scholarships, and you may be offered a discount ticket. So just apply for the scholarship. Say that you're willing to get here in person, or better yet, get a volunteer ticket. Apply to volunteer. Ruslan, will people of other Will people of other continents? What is your question, Gio? Will there be people from other continents? Yes, we just said Alex O'Connor will be there. Where is North Coast selling their tickets? Info. You got to reach out to the young adults group, Caleb. Do you know Pulfer? And the young adults, that's where it's the young adults, and it's the Leadership Academy. Will Phil Wickham be coming? No, we will not be having Phil Wickham. How many people altogether are you expecting? It's hard to gauge how many people will be there because there is a certain drop off that happens from just flakiness, meaning somebody bought a ticket 6 months ago, stuff came up, they flake. So it's hard to gauge exactly how many people are coming. Our break-even point was around 500. We're not getting anywhere near 500. There will be, I'd say, if I had to throw a guess on it, I'd say no less than 300, no more than 400. That would be my guess. Will I be able to purchase a virtual ticket after the summit? No, Trey. We just answered that question. Zach said no. We're gonna lock it down afterwards because we need the cash flow to offset our expenses. Not my film, just a powerful film about martyrdom featuring victims of persecution and great teachers. I understand your business. Yeah, I can't do that right now, Jake. Thank you though. And also, just for the record, like those of you guys that are like watch this thing about persecution. I'm not trying to be like super sensitive, but like as a refugee that came here because of religious persecution, that stuff is fairly triggering for me to even cover, let alone sit down and watch a film about it. All right. Is Alex O'Connor still debating David Wood on topic? Rewind the stream, Noah. Asked and answered. Asked and answered. Seen much of the House of David. I think you'll get more virtual tickets because of this announcement. I hope so, Emily. Because, yes, we do need the cash flow. I don't know if you guys understand, but like flights aren't free. Hotels aren't free. Sound guys and light systems and LED walls and multiple live streams to people are not free. So someone's like, we need the cash flow. Yeah, we need the cash flow because this stuff takes a lot of money and we're about 25K down on this event. So yes, we do need the cash flow. That's yes. And we increased our expenses because we have this amazing opportunity open up where Alex O'Connor was willing to come and do this. So yeah, we do. I know that's so sacrilegious to say as a Christian. It's so evil to say as a Christian, isn't it? So weird. All right, having other bless God this event in New York. Probably highly unlikely we'll do it in New York. Roos, I don't remember, but you alone had the idea of Bless God Summit more. What? I don't remember, but what are you asking? But you alone had the idea of the Bless God Summit or more people. I don't understand what you're asking. Would you ever bring Sam Shamoon to the podcast? Yeah, I'd be open to that. Wouldn't keeping the virtual ticket open afterwards get you more cash flow? I'm probably wrong, but yeah. I guess it would, but again, we need the cash flow on the front end, not a recurring digital product that we're trying to sell. We need steak dinner and 5-star hotel, guys. You think we're having steak dinners and 5-star hotels? Is that your? You got to be trolling, right? Yerba Mate as a sponsor. That'd be fire. You think John and Miles would do any West Coast? I sure do hope so. I couldn't budget in the time or money. Thank you for setting up digital tickets. I pray some Promonian Christians, Messianic Jews, etc., are going to the event. They are actually. I think I don't know if Rabbi Eduardo's going, but he was supposed to come. Yerba Mate is a sponsor. Would be fire. Are you friends with Dilly? I am. I was trying to get Dilly to this event, but we ran out of funds. I look forward to this event. You know, great things, fly shoes, great beef, hot dogs. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Is Dirt Poor Robin still performing? They are not. They are not. They are not, unfortunately. You should do Dilly's podcast. I think I am at some point. I think he asked me to come on at some point. Diana said, question, guys. If we cannot make it on time for the event with a ticket bought, would there be links to watch it later? Yes. Everyone who bought a physical ticket will get a digital ticket as well. Matt Delahunty? Are you serious? More Orthodox content coming soon for you. For me or from me? We're doing, I'm supposed to do something with Father Josiah. I'm supposed to do something with Father Josiah. Ruslan, would you say that the Bless God Summit will be a pivotal moment of many people's lives? I sure do hope so, or I wouldn't be doing it. What about digital live stream? Rewind the stream, Joshua. Mods! Where y'all at? Rewind the stream. Goodness gracious. We literally just explained all of it to you guys. Would you ever be willing to come on a smaller creators podcast? It depends. It depends. If you're like just getting off the ground, it doesn't serve you well to have me on. It doesn't really do much for you. If you got some momentum and you're crushing, then yes. Would you bring Taylor Welch on? Yeah, me and Taylor were supposed to connect a while ago. So at some point, I'm sure we'll do something. So if you guys are just tuning in, please rewind the stream so I don't gotta repeat myself over and over again. Me and Dilly ever gonna do a song together? We've done a song together. We've done at least one song together. I think we've done one song together. All right. Will there be links to watch the virtual event later if we don't logging on time? Yes, you will have the access to the replays. The virtual event will basically be streamed as an unlisted topic. It will be an unlisted live stream. So you will absolutely be able to come back to them later for sure. Amy, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you for the generous contribution. Would you ever do a song with Kendrick if you had the opportunity to do so? It would depend on if I had a relationship with him and where I felt like he was at personally and what the objective of the song was. I don't know enough of where his heart is. I'd say like right now, probably not. But it's such an interesting hypothetical question. But yeah, I'll say probably right now, no. But if I had rapport and relationship with him, maybe. And if I felt like he was in a different spot than I think he's in, maybe. Ruslan, God bless you. Thank you, because doing this summit will renew a lot of people's lives. Hopefully. What language do you and Zach know? I know English and Russian. Russian's my first language. Who would win in a 1v1? You or God Logic? I haven't played in a while, and if he's nice, he'll probably get me right now. I've had quite a few knee surgeries and kind of unofficially retired, if you will. So, yeah, there's that. All right. Drop your location in the chat if you're just tuning in. Again, Bless God Summit, schedule fully released. Alex O'Connor, David Wood, night 2, debate happening. It's going to be an amazing day, amazing long day. But I think you guys who can be here in person are going to enjoy yourselves. And we have virtual tickets available. So you could bundle that up if you want. Ruslan, imagine if someone famous goes, I would love Joe Rogan to convert there. I don't think Joe Rogan's pulling up to our summit, respectfully. Any plans to have Philip Anthony Mitchell on? Love the content, and we met in Boston years ago with Bobby Bishop. Hey, shout out to you, Nicholas. I wouldn't mind having Philip Anthony on. I don't know him, and I generally don't like chase interviews, So, yeah, most of the podcasts I have just are honestly overflows of relationship. So if we connect and we build a friendship and he wants to come on, then yeah, I would love to have him on. But I don't do reach outs and try to finagle my way to someone, All right. Celeste, congratulations. Oh, shoot. There it is. Congratulations. Hit the goal weight of 135. That's incredible. Tips on keeping it off. I would say, to answer your question, I'm training. Nutrition isn't dialed in because of all the travel. And so I'm going to lock in after this summit. And really probably go back to phase 1 for a bit. And then keeping it off, I would say if you went highly, highly, highly low carb, make sure you're easing into carbs carefully and you're starting with slow digesting carbs. And make sure you stay active. That would be my biggest advice to anyone that's taking the weight off. Be very careful with how you're incorporating things back into your diet, because that's kind of where I fell, if I'm honest with you. Did you expect the David Wood and debate would get heated? No, I think they're both professionals. I don't think it would get heated, personally. I don't think it. No, I haven't heard Kendrick's thing on Cardi's album, but no, I don't anticipate it getting heated. All right. Let me see any other questions. No. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much again. BlessGod.shop or BlessGodSummit.com. Get your tickets to the Bless God Summit happening next week. It's going to be fun. Alex is kind of a sweetheart. I don't think he's getting heated. Bought my Bless God Summit. Sorry, you guys are under. It will payback over time, if not immediately. Hopefully. Ruslan, how many people will be at the Blessed Gods? I already answered that question. I would say no less than 300, no more than 400. So somewhere in that ballpark. I don't know. There's a certain fall off percentage of people who don't end up coming. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't have a clear answer for you because we're still selling tickets, and we're hoping we sell some more tickets this last week. And then we have folks that like bought 50 tickets, like North Coast Church. We're hoping that they end up bringing all 50, or that we can donate those 50. So yeah, we don't know yet. Yeah, no, nowhere near no 500 though. No. The room could fit up to 800, but we have a divider, and so the room fits around 400 snugly. And so yeah, I would say no more than 4, no less than 3. We have 5 kids and applied for a sponsorship early on, but didn't hear back either way from anyone. We appreciate you guys. Both me and my wife heard, God willing to us to go. Did you apply and you can offer your own, you can get your own travel and hotel covered, or did you apply and ask for all that? Because we had a potential big sponsor, like a massive sponsor that fell through, that was going to get families there. But if you're local and you still want to come, again, circle back and just communicate clearly that you are local, that you can get yourself here, and let us know, and we'll try to do our best. If you're not local, we definitely can't fly people out. That was the goal. I was hoping that we can have some folks that were making sponsors to be able to fly some people out, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Your birthday gift to Alex is a Southern California tan. Thank you for the super chat. NM. I think it's incredible you're stepping out and doing this. Ultra dope. Yeah, I thank you, Ryan. Hopefully it pays off. Because it's not looking great. But I think we'll be fine. The thing that I would say Dave Ramsey taught me is that even in the way we're taking the L, we've spread it out. We've spread it out over the course of 6 months. And so like all the flights were covered by me months ago through miles and having recurring miles and recurring revenue from months ago. So like I took that L, but it's okay because it was a while ago. You know what I mean? Okay, Tiffany. What is your handle, Tiffany? You did this last time to me. You ghosted the chat. What is your handle? I'm going to find your DM right now, and we're going to sort this out. Do not leave until you tell me your handle. Okay, I need your handle right now. We'll figure out a way to get you there because you keep saying this is your thing, but you didn't give me your handle. So tell me your handle because I got that plus 99 on the Instagram. There's a lot of people there. Okay, will you be? Okay, so give me your handle right now. We'll figure it out. Someone said that they did apply. I'm definitely flying there. Hopefully I can. Okay. Find a room close by. Yeah, there's a ton of hotels close by. The hotel that is at is a little pricey. So Tiffany, please just drop your handle real quick, and I'll see if we can get you a ticket. Melissa, can you connect Melissa Dory or George Janko? I don't think that's how it works, Tanya. I don't like pick up the phone and say you need to connect with so and so. George Janko will generally come across stuff as he is seeing stuff, and then usually I'll talk to him and encourage him. So I don't want to put anything out there, but let's just say there's something cool happening on George Yanko's podcast pretty soon here, and I don't want to reveal it to you. Okay, Tiffany, come on. You did this last. I feel like Tiffany's trolling me at this point because she did this last time. She said, I can get myself there, and I want to apply for a ticket. And then you just disappeared. And so like I can push a ticket through if you can get yourself here, but you're not giving me your Instagram handle. So that means I got to go. And when I dug into my Instagram DMs, there's literally thousands of DMs here. I'm not saying that's a flex, but that's just the reality. And so now we're back at square A. All right. What kind of snack options do you guys recommend for protein throughout the day? I'm trying to stop snacking, Kevin, but if I'm snacking, beef sticks. Chomp's beef sticks. Chomp's beef sticks. Yes, I know who Alex Wilson is. I met him at DebateCon in person. My IG is Ruslan KD. It's the same as my channel. One word, Ruslan KD, RUSLAN KD. Follow me on Instagram. Okay. Yeah, Mikey, she did this last time, bro. She did this last time. I said, Tiffany, what is your handle? She didn't tell me her handle. She said she applied for a scholarship. I don't see all the applications. There's a lot of applications that come through. What is the stream about? We wind the stream, Antonio. Don't do that. I DM'd you about something a few days ago. Not anything to get into here, but yeah. Listen, guys. Yeah, I don't think you guys understand how crazy these daggone DMs are. Let's see. Let's see if I can go here. Do I have it? No. Nope. Yeah, I'm sure. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. I had an overhead shot somewhere in here. I was going to try to show you guys the ridiculous nature of the DMs. All right, Tiffany. Tiffany, this is on you. All right. Have you looked into Aaron Apke's content response? I don't even know who that is. I have no idea who that is. You spoke about methodology. You figured out that helped you gain momentum in growing your YouTube channel. 2 or 3 tips for someone wanting to start out. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Do a lot of videos. What is your handle? What is your IG handle? Okay. It's wild. It's wild the amount of YouTuber platforms out there that getting a money grab. $50 for a live stream is wild. Is it wild? Is it though? $50 for a virtual ticket to a 3-day conference is wild. How many virtual events have you been to? How many conferences have you been to? Oh, you're talking about Aaron. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, didn't he get whooped in a debate by Wes? That was embarrassing. Yeah, no, come on. Aaron and Cameron, the vegan guy, come on. Come on. You can't be serious. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think the interesting part is how few people understand just the mechanics of like putting something on. Like we have to hire a separate person to run just the audio for the live stream so that the people who are watching that live stream have a proper audio experience. That person, just that person, for 3 days costs thousands of dollars for a person to be on a mixer running a separate feed just to hear the audio so that the people who are watching it virtually can experience the event the way that they're supposed to. Thousands of dollars, more than $1,000 to put someone just to do that. So when you see $50, you're like, oh, that's a lot of money. It's like, is it though? When you understand what goes into building a virtual experience for someone, it's like we're not doing this like me live streaming in my garage. This is an actual production. So $50, you think that's a lot of money for like you probably spent more than that on eating out this week. Like respectfully, you probably spent way more than that on eating out this week. And by the way, at the end of the day, we pay for what we value. So if you don't value an event like this, then you wouldn't pay for it. I get it. But to say that like that's a crazy amount of money and you have zero idea of what it costs to put on an event, what it costs to pay someone to run all the cameras, to set up all the cameras, to set up the mixers, to set up the sound system, to have a separate sound guy run everything so that the event is fire. Like you have zero idea what that costs. And so you probably squandered more than that on eating out and frivolous things that you didn't need to buy like within the last 7 to 10 days. Right? And so if you don't value that, yes, yeah, Tiffany got to be trolling at this point, right, Sebastian? Yeah, we gonna call Tiffany a troll at this point. All right, I got to get out of here, guys. I appreciate you. We will be back tomorrow. You need a live audio and a stream audio engineer. That's right. We need 2 separate. Thank you. We need 2 separate engineers. We need 2 separate engineers, and both of those engineers cost money. Like To pay an engineer to run a whole event costs money. To pay a separate engineer to run the live stream portion of it costs money. You're absolutely right. You need 2 separate people running 2 separate mixes. Yeah, she's a troller. Thank you, Kevin. All right, I'm out of here. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Here's a little more information about the virtual ticket, blessgodsummit.com. We'll see you guys later. Peace. I have a massive update for you. I'm sure by this point, you've heard about the Bless God Summit happening March 27th, 28th, 29th here in beautiful Carlsbad, California. But we've heard your requests. We've conceded to your demand. There are virtual tickets that are now available for the Bless God Summit, so you can access it from anywhere in the world, as well as access to the replays. And for those of you guys that are looking for something extra, we're also offering a virtual ticket and an exclusive Bless God Summit merch bundle. There's some amazing art and some exclusive pieces done by our friend Josh Nadeau from Sword and Pencil that you have to check out. So join us online for the virtual event and experience some sessions from my favorite podcasters, pastors, and performers. We have a stacked lineup. I'm talking about Preston Perry, Dr. Sean McDowell, Inspiring Philosophy. What do you mean? Lila Rose, Alan Parr, and his wife Jen Parr. We even have Nate Sala from Wise Disciple, Gavin Ortland, David Wood, Avery from God Logic Apologetics. And on the pastoral side, we have my friend Daniel Golding, Pastor Ed Newton from CBC in San Antonio, and my personal pastor from Rhythm Church, Pastor Jeff Moores and his wife Erin Moores. You won't want to miss out from amazing performances from America's Got Talent winner Dustin Savella, Billboard charting hip-hop artist John Keith and Miles Minnick, and as seen on Jordan Peterson's We Who Wrestle with God tour, Dirt Poor Robbins. And we're still finalizing a few more speakers. So head over to blessgod.shop, get your virtual ticket now, and you can get yourself a bundle with some of the exclusive merch as well.